So on October 11, 2021, Novavax announced on their site that the full results from the Prevent COVID-19 pivotal phase 3 trial of Novavax COVID-19 vaccine candidate has been posted on medRxiv. So that is a site where the preprint is present. Now people are going to comment on it and then we'll go from there. Let us review the results. So, a quick note about the Novavax vaccine. This is called a sub-protein vaccine. What that means is there is no adenovirus or DNA in it, there is no messenger RNA in it. This is a more traditional vaccine where a piece of the virus, that is a spike protein, is put together in the form of a particle, and that is the particle with the adjuvant called matrix M is injected in the body. So no messenger RNA, no DNA, no issues with the cells. The particle, when injected, will directly interact with the immune system and train it. Novavax screened 31,588 participants, potential participants, out of which 29,949 were selected to participate in the trial. These participants were then randomized with a 2-to-1 ratio. So there were two people in the vaccinated group versus one in the placebo group. Also, this was a computerized randomization. So the participant didn't know, and the folks who were giving the injections did not know that they are giving placebo or the vaccine. These participants were then followed up. And of course, they were followed up after the first dose, but the ones that are in the interim result, these are those participants that had received their second dose, and 7 days after the second dose till 19th of April 2021 is the time during which they were followed up to understand if they got COVID or not. There were a total of the 17,312 vaccinated participants who had the second dose and were 7 days after the second dose, and there were 8,140 placebo participants. As I mentioned before, the follow-up continued from the 7 days after the second dose to till April 19, 2021. So this was, they had been injecting from December to February. So this is really somewhere after the February till April. 48.2% of the participants had self-identified their gender as females. The remaining were other genders, of course, male included, so 51.8%. Whites were 75.9%, black 11%, Native American and Alaskan Americans were 6.2%, Hispanics and Latinos were 21.5%. And there is the vaccine showed the least amount of efficacy for Hispanic and Latinos, so I'll discuss that in a few minutes. There were at least 47.3% folks who had at least one comorbidity. They could have more than one, but at least one. Median age was 47 years, and there were 11.8% people who were greater than or equal to 65 years of age. So here's the big news: the efficacy, the results. Efficacy overall. So out of all of these participants that I mentioned before, there were a total, during this time period, there were a total of 77 COVID-19 infections. 14 of them were in the vaccinated and 63 were in placebo. This makes the efficacy to be 90.4%. So beautiful efficacy. Moderate to severe cases were 14, and all of them were in placebo. None of them were in vaccinated. So again, it is bad for the placebo that they had this. luckily nobody died, but all severe cases, moderate to severe cases, were in placebo and 0 cases in vaccinated. So this makes the efficacy against serious disease hospitalization to be 100%. Efficacy in high risk individuals was 91%, which is pretty good. However, Hispanics and Latinos, efficacy in them was 67.3%. It still is above the threshold that FDA has set of 60%. However, this is a lower efficacy. And now the adverse effects. The most common local adverse effects stayed for 2 days or lesser and were tenderness and pain at the site of injection. That's it. These were the most common ones. On the systemic side, systemic adverse effects sustained for lesser than 1 day or 1 day, mostly after the second dose, and the most common systemic after effects were headache, myalgia, fatigue, malaise. As far as I understand, there was no COVID related death in either of the groups. There was an all cause mortality, that means other reasons as well, and both the groups had a equal balance, so 0.5% and 0.5% between placebo and vaccinated groups. And finally, last but not the least, definitely not the least, I think you would love it, the severe adverse effects. No anaphylaxis. Again, this is a trial. We'll see when it goes out in production what happens. But no anaphylaxis, no Guillain-Barré syndrome. Pericarditis, myocarditis, and thrombosis was balanced in both the groups. So they occurred as would normally occur in a set of population. So again, when we go out in production, we'll see what happens. But this is a good news, at least from trials data, that there is no anaphylaxis, no Guillain-Barré syndrome, no pericarditis or myocarditis that is imbalanced. So it was balanced, and similarly thrombocytopenia was balanced between the two groups as well. So this is the discussion. I am really excited about this vaccine. It is also a traditional vaccine. So this kind of a platform has been tested a lot before. So thank you very much, and tell me, what do you think about it?